Okay, so it's been a long time now that the creator of One Piece, Eiichiro Oda, has given updates on how much longer the series is going to go. Now, in a recent interview, or I believe it wasn't even an interview, I believe he was actually with some fans at an event, he spoke up on how much longer he's planning on working on One Piece yet again. Also, I believe he briefly touches up on Raftel, very, very big stuff there, and a few other things. But at the same time, there's certain arguments to be had regarding how trustworthy even Eiichiro Oda himself is on the updates they've been giving us on how much longer the series is going to go. So we're going to talk about the article, the information we got from Eiichiro Oda himself, but also a timeline of the updates we've been getting regarding when One Piece is going to end. Let's talk about it.
Whether Facebook, Twitter, or the two, make sure to steer clear, cause I'm coming through like...
Okay, so as long as I've been doing YouTube talking about anime and manga, I've gotten updates that One Piece is at certain portions of the story, certain percentages. I mean, all the way back to 2010, I remember the very first time I heard about One Piece, where it was at, was we had gotten the time skip in the manga. We had just gotten to, we haven't even hit Fishman Island yet. It literally had just started the time skip, and everybody was talking about that. Oda came out and said, my series will go on for 10 more years, and you know, it's only like halfway done, and a lot of things like that, which of course, in hindsight now, he was even wrong then, because, you know, that's only 1 year away, and we're nowhere near close to being done, at the very least, according to the way the story is going and what Eiichiro Oda recently said. And I remember also that prompted Kubo, the creator of Bleach, to say his series was going to go on for another 10 years. Well, that didn't quite go the way he wanted, although I'd imagine he wanted it to go that way, but Shonen Jump intervened or whatever. But that's a whole different point. Bleach fans, I know, we got done dirty. Anywho, so at a recent event, a lot of lucky fans got to meet with Eiichiro Oda, the creator of One Piece. Funny how even in the promotional images and everything we see, Oda's face is still covered. Like, the man really doesn't want you to know what he looks like, although we have some images of what he looked like, you know, probably maybe 10, 12 years ago. But either way, he was with some lucky fans, and they asked him a few different questions, and he gave updates on when he's going to end One Piece, you know, how much longer basically we got, and a few other different things. So let's go down the list. We got a couple articles, but also I want to compare it to, because at the end of the day, how many editors, how many times Oda himself has came out and said, yeah, One Piece is X amount done, we got 10% left, we got 20, well, he hasn't said 10%, but, you know, I think the closest we got was like 80% at one given point. So we're going to also take a look at that to see, like, because at the end of the day, can we really trust Oda? Like, where are these percentages, you know, that they be pulling out? So let's read what he said, and we'll talk some more. So one of the things that was mentioned was the Straw Hats broke up in Sabadi before time skip. The location where each crew member went or was sent to, for example, Amazon Lily, were chosen by Kuma's own will. And that's an interesting tidbit. To be honest with you, I don't know how much we could really do with that, but I guess it's cool to note that Kuma specifically, well, you know, actually I could theorize a lot on that, to be honest with you, because if Kuma sent them specifically, then that means Kuma had a purpose for each and every one of them. Like, okay, I want this one here, I want this one there. How much did Kuma know at that particular point about each Straw Hat is the question, because if he knew a bit about them, it could be that he had a grand plan and he believed in the Straw Hats to be able to do something later on down the road. At that point, I want to say Kuma had already sold his soul to the world government, so he was getting ready to, you know, I think he did one more mission that was stay watching the cruise ship until after the time skip or something like that. But either way, it could very well be that he did those things because he knew these characters might prosper in each aspect. He maybe knew, who knows, for all we know, Kuma could see the future. We don't know everything, you know what I'm saying? He could have before he was turned into a dog for the world government. Maybe he knew, like, yo, Luffy needs to meet this woman from Amazon Lily, Bo Hancock. Usopp needs to eat and get fat. You know what I'm saying? Like, who knows what reason why, but either way, it's good to note that it wasn't just random. It was Kuma picking out specific places to send these people. The next thing, after a discussion about Bullet's bounty in Stampede, they decided not to reveal it. Okay, so that's talking about the movie that just came out, One Piece Stampede. I'm imagining his bounty would be ridiculous anyway. If you look at what is Luffy's right now, 1.5 billion. Bullet was on, you know what I'm saying, Goldie Roger's crew. Now, I don't think his bounty was going to be anything less than in the billions, and at the end of the day, we know it's going to be ridiculous. But also, if they did reveal it, then it could possibly, if they decide not to have Stampede be, you know, canon, so to speak, to the manga. Let's just say they reference like, oh, this is the third biggest bounty, and then they don't mention Bullet, or they do mention Bullet. So there's a couple different reasons why they probably decided not to reveal it in the end. But either way, you could just imagine it was very high. He was a part of Goldie Roger's crew, if that's the character that they're referring to, because I haven't seen the film yet, but I believe Bullet was the guy that was on Roger's crew. Yeah, it was probably pretty freaking high. Oda didn't draw Raftel Island in the map mentioned by Crocus. Okay. And I hope I said it. Is it Crocus or Crocus? I can't remember. But anyway, yeah, Raftel's supposed to be a mystery. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not going to be just an easy thing for them to reach. Obviously, Oda did it with a purpose. Oda made sure, like, this is his life's work. You know what I mean? He talked about, in the past, live and die for One Piece. Anybody that comes aboard the project, you better be ready to die for this. So, at the end of the day, there's a particular reason for everything that this man does. And, of course, he's going to leave it as a mystery. Who knows? Maybe the way to Raftel, like, you got to think, this man is very creative. And in order to get to Skypiea, you got to get shot up into the, you know, high up into the clouds. You know what I'm saying? So, maybe it's dug underneath. Maybe it's the core of the earth or some crazy shit. Raftel was just a whole other thing. I mean, look at even when we went to New World. Punk Hazard, it was half ice, half magma, all melted down because of the fight between Akainu and Aokiji. Oda is a creative dude. Raftel ain't going to be just a simple, I mean, it could be. That could be the plot twist. Like, it's just a very tiny little tropical island. Like, there's a bunch of naked women dancing all around. Hey, like, yo, Roger was a freak. No, but yeah, Oda probably did that intentional, obviously, as he said, because it's probably a very complex way to get there, or he didn't think of it at the time and he figured, well, I'm gonna leave it blank for now because it's gonna be crazy. Oda says Stampede has a hint about Raftel that One Piece fans would be willing to discuss. Probably he implied that romanization. Whoa, hold up. One Piece Stampede has a hint about Raftel. I need to see this movie now! That is freaking hype. That is hype, because at the end of the day, well, you gotta think about it. If Bullet was there, Bullet went with Roger to, you know what I'm saying, all these adventures. So, of course, he's going to know, I need to see this film. And they're talking about the romanization of it. Stampede. Maybe it's underneath a stampede of, like, maybe it's underneath. Oh, wow, here's a crazy theory. I doubt it'll be legit. But if I am, I'm calling it. What if Raftel is underneath Elbaf? And the reason why, a stampede of people, you know what I'm saying? You can't get there unless you get underneath these giants that at this point, after everything that happened with Big Mom and everything, they're not going to let you just go in their territory and go under. So who knows, maybe Elbaf is going to be like the last island before we reach Raftel, because you got to get under there. Raftel, you know what I'm saying? Raftel, water. I'm imagining maybe you got to go down somewhere. Maybe it's a long waterfall drop, like a Dark Continent Magi type of thing. I don't know, but that is really, really freaking cool. There is a rumor that Oda has automated teller machines to withdraw money in his house, but he denies it. We know Oda is swimming in the big bucks, okay? If Oda ain't rich, I'm gonna be honest with you, if Oda ain't rich, then every single creator that is working on manga is broke, period. If Oda ain't rich, none of them are rich. Not a single one. This man is the highest selling mangaka of all time. They make most of their money from manga volume sales. And on top of all that, you know, the merchandising, the films, Oda better be rich, but that is freaking hilarious. That sounds like some Richie Rich, Macaulay Culkin movie type of shit. Oda started playing futsal for the first time in 20... I have no idea what futsal is. For the first time in 20 years, but he ended up getting injured many times. So he recently decided to take a walk to improve his health. Yeah. Keeping track of your health is good, especially I'm imagining this man that he sits all day hunched over drawing and writing and all of that stuff. Yeah, take as many walks as you need, Oda Sensei. Alright, like, yo, we cannot have this man. That's why, again, slightly off. I'm really glad they give him that week off from time to time. I think it's what, every other month he gets a week off. He needs it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if this man is doing different things just to keep his health up because he's just like a machine at this point, like, poor guy. Like, poor guy. I'm looking forward to the day One Piece ends. Not only, of course, because I want to complete the journey, but so this man can be free. But then again, he's so engrossed in it. Man's been doing it since, what, 97, I think? 98? Something like that. One Piece started. 97, I think it was. Like, it's been over 20 years this man has been living this lifestyle. I doubt he'll be able to ever live a normal life coming off of manga. He might do a Kishimoto and come back with a artist and, like, you know, write from time to time. I think he did say he wanted to do a mech series. He said he'll never do another long series again after One Piece, though. So who knows what this man is going to do, but it'll probably be very, very difficult for him to adapt to a normal life for a long time after One Piece ends, especially after... you'll see in a bit how much longer he said One Piece is going to go for. The great incident by Straw Hat Grand Fleet mentioned in Dressrosa arc will happen soon. Not sure how exactly soon Oda meant. Maybe it's gonna happen at the end of Wano, because I still to this day think about it like, hold up, how is Kaido gonna fall? Like, Big Mom is there now. I don't want to spoil it for anime onlys or people that haven't been catching up with the manga lately, but they're gonna need a lot of firearm to be able to defeat everything that they got going against them, the Straw Hats and Wano. Luffy has an army now. A lot of people follow him. A lot of people follow God Usopp. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't wait to see. Is it going to be the end of Wano? Is it going to be the arc afterward? Maybe somewhere in between. I don't know, but like, that is hype, because Oda, if I'm not mistaken, he said Marineford is going to feel like nothing compared to when this happened. So whatever this is, this incident, woo! I can't wait. And the fact Oda said soon, I don't know what soon means in Oda's world, but I can't imagine it'd be more than a couple of years from now, based on the last thing that was said and this information we got. And that's that Oda says he'd like to finish One Piece now in 5 years. So, the percentages, it's just ridiculous. There's no point. Whenever they say percentages at this point, we should probably just ignore it. Just being, unless he says like, yo, we 2% away or something, then I'll be like, ah! But 5 more years doesn't make sense percentages wise. Like, wait, so 5 more years to do the final 20%, because I think the last time he said last year he was at 80%. So now, I don't know. It just seems a little bit silly. Maybe it does mathematically add up. Either way, we've heard so many different things throughout the years of like, oh, One Piece is ending this long, that long, 5 more years. So One Piece might outlast everything that's in Shonen Jump right now. You know what I mean? Like Dr. Stone, maybe even My Hero, Black Clover. Probably all of these will be out the door by the time One Piece is ending. And then maybe when One Piece is getting close to ending, they're going to be like, oh crap, we don't got nothing to fill its shoes. Everything else is ending. Keep it going for another 5 or 10. Like, One Piece is going to... I could imagine Oda being old as shit and still doing this. I don't know. It's just like 5 more years now. I ain't mad at it. One Piece, great story. It has not dipped in quality yet. It is still consistent with everything that you love from One Piece. So I can't shit on it and say like, it just ended already. But 5 more years, yo. I'm curious how many people, even from when I started this journey back, almost 10 years ago, catching with One Piece and stuff like that, to where we're at now, how many people that was reading the manga up to date with me now even still reads the manga? What about in another 5 years? And another 5 years after that, assuming that Oda's off about these 5 years, like, it's gonna lose fans by the end of it, but I don't care. As long as it's still of high quality. I hope by the end of all this, I'm still reading it for that last chapter. I would love to be able to review the last chapter of One Piece and talk about it, because it'll be a magical video. If we still doing this in 5 more years, 10 more years from now, it'll be insane. If not, whatever social media becomes, I know I will give my thoughts one way or another about the final chapter of One Piece, whether it's 5 years from now or whatever. But now quickly, let's take a quick look. There was an article written on Crunchyroll about several different times that Eiichiro Oda talked about when One Piece will end, and we could kind of get a grasp of like, you know what I'm saying, like, yeah, well, this man said this and that, so let's take a look. So in a 2007 interview, Oda said that he was going to keep it going for as long as it took for Luffy's journey to finish. Which, okay, he didn't really give an idea of like, hey, 3 years or whatever. But then in 2009, he said he went from cryptic to realistic, stating that One Piece probably won't end for a long time, which, hey, it's been 10 years, that's a long time. And in 2009, Oda was wading through Impel Down in Marineford, so yeah, that was right around the time, just before the time skip hit in 2010, that we got the 2 years, 3 days, I think it was, 2 years, 3 days later. So, about right, and yeah, it's been a long time, and it's still going. Then in 2012, Oda admitted that if he wrote everything in One Piece that he wanted to, it would never come to an end. And again, we're 950 chapters in, so again, he's been giving us updates along the way. Not to mention that again in I want to say it was like 2010, he said we're about halfway through only. That was the halfway mark. And then in 2012, he said it was 60% done. 2016, he said it's only 65% done, so it took 4 years to do 5%. Like, did he even remember what he said all those years before that? And then it was about last year that he said estimated 80% done. So now it's going to take 5 more years for 20%, but it took about 4 years for 5%. Like, Oda's just saying it. It's just, he's just saying whatever, honestly. I don't believe it. We don't believe you. You need more people. Because none of the times is matching up. None of the percentages is making any mathematical sense. So we might get 5 more years based on what Oda said. He might come 5 years from now and say, but I was inspired to tell more about how Blackbeard got more chest hair, so it took me an extra year or 2. I'm going on for 5 more years. Like, We don't know, honestly, but he says 5 more years. All we can do is say, hey, at least we probably have One Piece now if it's 2019 until what, 2024, which it's crazy. We're gonna be talking about One Piece for a while, I would imagine. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless sales drop dramatically, TV ratings of the anime drop dramatically, which, don't get me wrong, sales have been declining. Again, we don't have all the info of what digital is having or playing an effect on all this, but yeah, One Piece, 5 more years. I'm curious what you guys think about this. For starters, what do you think is the hint with Raftel? Like, are we going to have to get inside of... It's something to do, I'm imagining we're getting... Maybe it's deep in the ocean, even further than, like, Fishman Island. Kind of curious what you guys think about that. Also, 5 more years. How do you feel? You think that's even true? Or you think Oda's just once again throwing out some BS and then 5 more years roll around or 4 more years and he says, yeah, I was bullshitting. We got like 10 more, you know what I'm saying? Like, crazy. And your overall thoughts and expectations for the future of One Piece right now. The latest chapter that we just had, 954, was absolutely insane. I'm really looking forward to the next one. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit that bell to get all notifications. And if you want to follow any of my other social media, links in the description below. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule. Anime and manga for life, boy. Have an awesome day. Peace in.
Enjoy the next ride, but I was the best ride. But I hope you know that